What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Top Cut, the only Pokemon TCG live discussion show on the internet. I am Kyle Pooka. I'll be filling in for Krim today as your host. He's got some issues going on with someone in his family, so he's taking the day off just to be with them. But with me, I have the three other members of the Top Cut. First, we have Drew Holton.
Woo!
How are you tonight, Drew?
Oh, come on.
Threw you a curveball.
Right as he takes a bite of ice cream.
All right, we'll get back to you.
Wonderful.
Michael Pram, how are you?
Doing better.
Still a little sick.
A little bit. Yeah. Voice
Can hear it, yeah.
My voice is getting better though.
And of course, we got the Great White Hope, Ben Potter. How you doing tonight, Ben?
Doing great. Couldn't be better.
All right. That's what I like to hear. Let's go back to Drew. How you doing now that you don't have food in your mouth?
I think the ice cream is self-explanatory. He's doing good.
Yeah. I just got some ice cream. I went to play basketball. Kelly got me some ice cream from Dairy Queen. It's in the freezer, all ready for me. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not bad.
Woo!
All right. Well, we now have all the scans from Boundaries Crossed, the brand new set. We took a little bit of a look at it last week, but this week we're going to dive right into the set, go in depth, and look at some of the good cards, some of the maybe potentially good cards, and then see what you guys think is overhyped and what is actually the real deal. So I think we're just going to start off going through by the type. We'll see if every type has something legitimate. And we're going to start off with the grass Pokemon. First one I have on my list is Vileplume. The Allergy Panic, that's what the ability is called. It gives ×4 weakness to everything in play. Do you guys think there's any potential for that? And we'll start with Ben.
No. Because it's like I know people, they design these decks around it and they want to make it so like, oh, I can knock out my opponent's Pokemon with such a small attack, and it does like, I do 40 and they take 160 and it's just, it's over. Yeah, well, your Pokemon take 4 times the damage too, and it's stage 2, so it's just not that useful.
Alright, fair enough. Pram, what do you think?
I think it's cool. I don't know how good it's going to be. Like, basically when you ever get a Vileplume out, especially because it's weak to Psychic, it kind of just gets destroyed by Mewtwo.
It's weak to fire, actually.
Is it? Fire?
Yep.
Makes it a little better.
Yeah.
But it doesn't change the fact that it has a big target on its head. Like, if your Vileplume goes down, you probably lose the game. But, like, if you build a deck around Vileplume and, like, a lot of little guys that does, like, 40, 50 damage, I think it could be decent. I don't know if it's tier 1 or not, but I think it's, I think it'd be fun to watch, at least.
I can agree with that. And Drew, what do you think?
I want this card to be good, but I'm not sure it will be. I mean, even if your little dudes are doing 40 damage, like a Virizion or whatever, tracking does 30 for 2. They're not KOing any EX Pokemon. They need to really do like 50, and I'm not sure there's many Pokemon that do that for 2 energy, which is probably what it would have to cost. And I just don't see it. Like everyone else said, Vileplume's a stage 2. It's pretty slow. So you'd have to have an amazing start to be able to trade with the EX Pokemon still, and I don't know, man. I like it, but I don't think it'll be good. It's definitely a bad deck Monday deck.
That's for sure. Now, I'm going to do this for every card. You guys need to give me thumbs up, thumbs down, or in between. So, Vileplume, what do you think? Alright, I got 2 thumbs down and a thumbs up. I'll go with an in between.
What?
What?
That's okay.
Thumbs up or thumbs down, man.
You got to do it at the same time. You can't just be like...
I told you in between was an option.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did, actually.
Yeah,
Anyway.
explain it more thoroughly, man.
You'll learn the rating system as we progress through the show.
You know
Alright,
what
Drew, we got a lot of
call
cards.
you right now?
What? I don't think you can say it on air.
Yeah.
Alright, next card we got Celebi EX. The Time Recall ability lets you use attacks from lower stages. Obviously the attack is not very good. 110 hit point, Grass EX. What do you guys think of this one? We'll start with Pram.
I think this card's actually like it can be really good. It just depends on other cards in the format. Like there's some possibilities with this set already, with Charizard and Flygon. And the Flygon, its ability just does 10 across between turns, and then like use Vibrava's attack to do 50 and then 10 across. So it's really good that way. The problem is it's just so fragile. 110 HP is really not a lot in today's format, so you're really just kind of taking a risk on whether it just gets knocked out, and it's like the worst starter you can have. But like if it goes unharassed and then you can just do your strategy, I think there's a lot of cool combinations with it, and there's going to be a lot of cool combinations that pop up later with it.
Okay. Ben, what do you think of Celebi EX?
I think Celebi EX is. I mean, it has some interesting potential. The EX factor, making it, and it's only 100 HP, is definitely concerning. I mean, it's nice, basic. You can just play it down, start using your previous evolutions attacks, but gives up 2 prizes for a lot of things. Do 110 damage. I don't think it's that good, but it has potential.
All right. And Drew, what are your thoughts on Celebi EX?
I think this is not a good card, especially with Ketra out. Maybe if Ketra ever rotates before it, it could be good. But right now, I just don't see it. I would give it a 1-0 woo. It's a weak one.
I guess this is Drew's new rating system. How many O's are in his woo? And this one's just a single O. It's not even a woo, it's a whoa. Woo! Alright, so rating on Celebi EX. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, it looks like we're about even. We all think there's probably a little bit of potential for it, but it's not quite there yet. Fair enough?
Yep.
Alright. So that's pretty much all I have for grass Pokemon. Nothing else too great I don't see. If we miss something as the show goes on, we'll have a section where we can bring up some overlooked cards maybe. But the next one we got Fire type, and the only one I got for Fire type happens to be Big Bad Charizard.
Yeah.
So, Ben, you are flexing. What do you think of Charizard?
This is my boy. Does 150 damage. I know it takes 5 energy, but you only have to discard one of them. One. Just like you're playing any deck besides Keldeo, and you get all 5 on that Charizard, you better look at that guy's coming for everybody. And he's not stopping until your field is gone and Pokemon lay waste, knocked out. Yeah.
Alright, Drew, how would you respond to that?
This would also be a single O woo card. It's just not very good. I kind of consider this Charizard like a fat slob because he takes so many energy. I mean, once you get those 5 energy on him, he's just worn out. He can't really do anything. He's about to get knocked out. He lived a good life, but that's it. He's not going to be taking prizes after that. So, a single O woo.
You can get all those energy on him in 1 turn.
With what?
Yeah.
You can do it with more, and you can do it with Blastoise. You can put fire energy on him, and then the rest water.
Ooh, we can go back to the old days where you're like, I want to make a deck with Blastoise and Charizard. This time it actually works.
Before you were just
Pram.
cheating.
Yeah, I know. Alright, Pram, what do you think of Charizard?
I actually like this card a lot. I think the attack that shines out the most isn't the 151, but is the 3 split bomb for it does 50 damage to 2 guys.
It does 40 actually.
Is it 40? Whatever. Whatever. The minor details.
It does 40 to 2 guys, and it doesn't do anything to like. It's not 3 guys. Or are you saying 4-3 or does
it takes 3 energy?
3 energy.
Yeah, it does it to 40 to 2 guys.
Yeah. That attack is like huge, you know, because this also works with Celebi. because your main energy is like when you have 3 energy, you can pretty much do anything. Like basically, you just sit there, you do split bomb all day, and then like they hit into you, and then you drop Celebi and Rage with Charmeleon, and that pretty much knocks out anything because you put everything in range with split bomb. So I think Charizard's like, if like it's like one of those cards that were, it's like if Keldeo didn't exist, this card would be amazing.
Yeah, if Celebi's going to work with anything, I think it would be Charizard, just because not only does the Charmeleon have Rage, the Raging Claws, but Charmander has Draw-In, which lets you get 2 fire from the discard and you attach them right to Charmander. So you can actually use that to pump up your Charizard. And he's got 160 hit points, so he's not going anywhere anytime soon unless, of course, you face water Pokemon. So knowing that Charizard is weak to probably what's going to be one of the most popular types in water, what do you think on Charizard's overall playability?
And you just had to say playability, didn't you?
Oh.
Yeah, we can do a rating, all right? Just go. Ben can't give a thumbs down to his boy.
Confident. What percentage of the time are you going to be playing against Keldeo? Over 50 or under 50? Because then you're going to win most of your games.
Let's go with over 50.
Over 50?
Under.
You're crazy.
The question is...
And forget
Do you
this
think-
split bomb garbage. No, don't do that, kids. It doesn't work.
It depends on like what week of cities we're in.
Do you think if you do ever get paired up with a Blastoise deck, you can ever beat it? Do you think you have a chance?
Yes,
Your silence
yes,
speaks volumes.
yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because I'll just go ham. Well, the deck obviously isn't just going to play Emboar and Charizard. It's going to have other stuff in it, too.
Where did Emboar come into this? Like,
Oh boy, good luck. Good luck with your Emboar Charizard deck, Ben. All right, we'll move on.
we'll add
next-
a BDM to it, and then it'll be good.
Move on to the water types because I don't see any other fire types outside of the Charizard line. Obviously, the water types. We're going to start with Blastoise. Obviously, it pairs well with Keldeo. We'll get to that, but Blastoise, Drew, what do you think?
This is probably the most hyped up card with Keldeo, obviously, for the set. Just like a deck coming out in a set, pretty much. Can't really describe it without Keldeo, man.
All right, yeah, we'll do it together. I mean, you do not have Blastoise without Keldeo. It just doesn't make sense. So we'll talk about them as a pair. What do you think?
All right, so Keldeo is an interesting card. Does 20 for each water attached to it. Seems like Pram's a big fan. I'm not really too big of a fan of this card. I'm not a big fan of stage 2s. It just seems like so much work to get them out. You're playing so many resources. You got the rare candies. You got the basics. Compared to like just the Darkrai deck, it seems a lot slower to me. So I'm not a big on the hype train like some other people are, but it could be very good. I'm not gonna just throw it in the dog pile. These are obviously 2 very strong cards. I would give Keldeo a 4-0 woo. It's pretty up there, And
Well,
Blastoise,
how many O's are in the rating system for the woos?
300.
I mean, it can go infinite, but
So, like, relatively, how good is a 4-0 woo compared
what's
to
a
another
4-0
card?
woo, man? It's better than a 3-0 woo. What do you want from me?
Better than a 3-0, but worse than a 5-0.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, can you, like, give me some place
that's pretty good. Pretty
where
good.
I can,
5
like, at
is
least in my mind, compare this to, like, is it like a
compared to like
Terrakion,
stars,
or
it's
is it like
4
an
out
extra?
of 5 stars? Like 5-0 is probably the most.
I have a quick
All
question.
right, we got the rating system.
Where would Gardevoir end up on the woo scale?
Like a 25.
See, I'm
That's a
putting
big
some
word.
perspective into this.
That's just like a one-time love. You can't just. It breaks the rank system.
All right, Pram. Drew saying that you love the Blastoise Keldeo combo. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's really good. They kind of like tailored. Hey man, I'm sick. I can barely. I can't control it. Anyways,
It's okay. I believe you.
it's more like they kind of tailored this deck to be like in the format. Like they kind of looked at the format beforehand and they were like, all right, maybe we did a mistake with all these basic EXs. Here's a stage 2 deck that kind of works, right? It has all the protection you need to get out your evolutions. The ability on Squirtle is like ridiculous. That ability is so huge in today's format with all the Darkrai's running around. The only way to knock out a Squirtle is to catcher it up, and at that point you have to, like, if they drop like 3 Squirtles, then, like, you need 3 catchers individually to take out a Squirtle to even do damage to it. And then Keldeo kind of does enough damage to knock out any Pokemon in existence, potentially. It just kind of like it just depends like on how well you set up. Like, I think if you set up, you don't lose. Like, you can't lock in Blastoise because of Keldeo's ability. You can't. I just think the 2 cards together are really good. They have a weakness to Mewtwo, but fortunately for Keldeo, that Mewtwo is also weak to Mewtwo. So it kind of brings it back to like a big Mewtwo war.
Alright, now, this really is just a reprint of Emboar, but now it's just kind of, Blastoise has its own Pokemon to go with it. What do you think separates Blastoise from being good, whereas Emboar was not?
Squirtle.
Okay, fair enough. And Ben, what do you think about... Yeah, go ahead.
Keldeo EX separates them because it runs on water. Like, you know, the Blastoise lets you put on the extra water. So, I mean, technically you don't need any water, but you can do 50 all day. I don't care. I think the pair is good. I don't think it's as good as other people think it is. I think you're going to see a lot of games where Keldeo comes back because they have more like long-lasting potential. But I think you'll see a lot of games where, because people haven't figured out exactly what cards to play in the deck yet.
Ooh, you did it too. Now you can't make fun of Pram anymore.
Yeah, you're not even sick. You're not even sick.
Garbage. Anyways.
Our little mate's hitting puberty.
You want to... Never mind, I'm not going to say that.
Go ahead, go on.
I think they're good. What was I saying? You messed me up, man. Oh, I think at the beginning you're not going to see people playing the deck correctly. I think you're going to see like the right cards mixed in with Keldeo, and that's going to make it not seem as good. Then it's going to get over this hump where it'll be just as good. I don't think it'll be better though than like Darkrai decks or just Darkrai decks.
Right,
Darkrai decks
yeah.
are good.
I can see that. This is going to be a brand new deck pretty much that people are going to have time to work out the kinks. So I can see that. Early on it probably won't be as successful as people would expect. Do you think that, this can go to anybody by the way, that the 140 hit points on Blastoise is a big deal, considering Hydreigon can hit for 140? Does that bother anybody?
Not really, not me.
Yes.
I ain't scared.
If it was 150, it would be much better.
I mean, you kind of get to the point where you have the choice of, well, what do you deal with? A Keldeo that's one-shotting everything, or a Blastoise that kind of finished its job already.
Well, you can also hit Blastoise for like 110 with Darkrai, and then hit it for 30. I mean, the less, yeah, with the Dark Claw, the less math that it has, the better it is. But I mean, it's not bad. It's not something I'm gonna like. Oh, every game. Oh, I wish I had 150 HP. But in general, I mean, 140 is pretty high. It's not 120. 120 would be bad. That would be pretty gnarly.
Alright, so overall, Blastoise, thumbs up, thumbs down. We're in the middle. We got
You only get one
two thumbs up from Pram. Wow. Drew is not sold. But we'll see what he thinks once cities start up. And Ben says it's okay, apparently.
We're just doing stuff now and go like this because Mike's breaking the rules. So
what are you talking about? I'm not breaking the rules. 2 thumbs up. I'm not doing like weird stuff.
you only get one thumb. It's thumb up, thumb middle.
I don't know about you, but I was born with 2 thumbs.
Yeah, but you weren't put in the rating system with 2 thumbs. We brought your thumbs into this. We can take them out if we want to.
No, you can't.
Alright, let's move on. Water, I don't think there's anything else besides those 2 Pokemon. Obviously, they're going to make a big splash, but those are the only ones.
Oh, come on, man. You're going to skip,
I saw that pause. You were just like, splash. Oh, yeah, I got this.
Delibird Victini combo? Come on. That's a game breaker right there.
Drew, I told you at the end, if you got anything, you can add it in, but now's not the time.
Good. It's stickiness.
I saw the stickiness.
Psychic. Number 1, Dusknoir. The ability is called...
Skips lightning?
Look. I got an order to this. Alright. Psychic. Dusknoir got the ability Sinister Hand. Basically just lets you rearrange damage on your opponent's field. The attack is absolutely horrible. My god, that's one of the worst attacks I've seen in a long time. But the ability, what do you guys think? Anybody can take this one.
Oh, I definitely think Sinister Hand is a good ability.
Right, well, how would you use it? Do you have any ideas for it?
Split Bomb.
Right.
No, but it lets you do 120 of things with Darkrai. I mean, after a turn.
Alright. Anyone else?
This is one of those cards that would probably be really good in a format that was slower with Stage 2 Pokemon. When people could tech in Stage 2s. That used to be common back in the day, but now I just don't see what you play it with. If it had a good attack, it would be probably in a good deck, but no. You're just not doing 60 for 4. Woo!
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at the attack, I was like, 4 energy to do 60, but it's got some text. That effect must be really good. And then it's just not affected by resistance. I'm like,
They really want you to get your 60 damage in.
Yeah. Pram, what do you think about Dusknoir?
I think it's like, it's gonna be good maybe if we ever get a format without catcher. As of right now, though, I think it just kind of gets overpowered. Like, you just can't really get it out that quickly and have it stay alive. I suppose, like, if you ever get into a situation where you triple lasered or glaciated their board for a while, and then like out of nowhere you had a Ditto just sitting there, and then go Duskull, Candy, Dusknoir. Like out of that situation, it would be really good, but you just kind of have to. It's like, how do you get there, kind of thing.
Yeah, this just kind of seems like one of those cards where you're gonna have to try really, really hard to get something that'll actually work, and you're gonna have to come up with some new wacky deck with damage spreading, and then after all that, you're gonna have to dodge cards like Max Potion and Potion from screwing up your whole strategy. So for the near future, I don't see this card being very good, but who knows, down the road it could be. I think we're all kind of thinking that right now Dusknoir is not that great, right?
I would give it 2 O's. 2 O's.
Really? Better than Charizard.
Yeah.
It's blasphemy.
Alright, next one we have up is Toxiccroak. This isn't going to be a powerhouse Pokemon. It's not going to be anything spectacular, but just for the revenge attack that can do 90 for 1, and it's a psychic type, so it could hit potentially a Mewtwo for a knockout for 1 energy. What do you guys think of that? Drew?
Well, I read the card, And back in the day, there was a Toxiccroak that was a basic Toxiccroak SP, and I was like super happy. I was like, "Oh man, this Toxiccroak is awesome!" And then I looked up, and it was a stage 1. I got really upset. So
You gotta get a Croagunk and evolve it first.
I don't even know what that is. I'm gonna show you a Croagunk, but I would give it 2 O's. It's not too good. You're probably not gonna tech in a 1/1 stage 1 line into your deck just for Mewtwo.
All right, Ben.
I don't think it's very good. I think it'd be cool if it was a basic, because then there's that like surprise factor. You can just play it down. But if a tournament before I have to play down a Croagunk, it's like, yeah, you knock me out, see what happens. I think they'll be ready. But I mean, like, the only way you could get off a surprise is if like you played Ditto down and then the next turn you changed it into Croagunk and then a Toxiccroak. But that's not very good either. So
You'll see, man. It's coming in the next Bad Deck Monday cycle.
I played down 4 Dittos, and I've also played down a Tynamo. My opponent goes, "Catcher that Tynamo, knock it out, X-Ball," and I go, "Gotcha."
Yeah, you'll see.
I'm playing some other deck. Just play 1 Dynamo in my deck.
One Dynamo and the bad Electros. Or the bad Electric, sorry. The one that does 80 for 3. Alright, Pram, what do you think of Toxiccroak?
I think it's like only good in a deck that plays like 4 Ditto. And like only that deck as of right now. Unless there's like they come out with some kind of like broken time space mechanic. I think that's really the only way it's gonna be played is with like 4 Ditto. It's okay.
Right.
Not bad.
Yeah. So we all kind of think it's okay. Not too great. So let's just move on to...
Oh, we're not doing this anymore?
Well, we got the idea, alright? I've realized that the system's not... Everyone's going to play along, so we'll just trash the system.
Every time.
We're doing it. You're the one not playing along here. Alright.
Everyone can see. Okay. Next up, we got a little Pokemon that's just used for the ability. It's Munna. It's got long distance hypnosis, the ability. It's a reprint of an old Drowsy, pretty much, that you can flip a coin. If it's heads, the defending Pokemon's asleep. If tails, your Pokemon is asleep. So, can you guys think of any sort of application for Munna? We'll start with Drew.
Why are we reviewing this card, man? This is a bad deck Monday.
It's a unique card.
You're letting that you look at bad cards all day and try to think of ways to play them, and it's like seeping into your brain, man.
All right, just get to the point then. 1-0 on your woo. Is that what you're saying?
This is just a W.
Deserves a W.
Whoa.
Anyone else?
Makes Ninetales pretty good. Oh yeah, Ninetales. I told you that thing mess you up if you're not ready for it.
Oh man! All right, Pram.
I think next set when you get the Poison Stadium and the Poison Sleep Gun, I think it's gonna be really, really good. With Ninetales, of course. Until then, it's kind of one of those sleeper cards where it's like, keep an eye on this next
sleeper.
Keep an eye on this for next set, and maybe it'll be really good. But as of right now, it's kind of bad.
What do you think about just running a random like Musharna line and maybe a Blastoise deck, and then you got the Munna there because there's really no drawback to it. You can just use Keldeo to switch in anyway.
I already do that. I think one of the Munnas has more HP, man.
Wait. You say a Musharna line?
Yeah, I mean if you...
maybe the other one draws you cards or something?
Yeah, not the new one.
Oh, okay. I looked at the new one and I was like, well, this isn't useful.
The one that lets you look at your top 2 and you pick one.
Yeah.
Just giving you some options. Alright, Munna, thumb, system, go. Alright, so mostly negative. I can see that.
Well, ask me next set, and I'll be like,
Yeah, no. Comes
All right,
down.
next up, we have last psychic Pokemon on my list. Probably shouldn't even be on the list, but I figured might as well. Cresselia EX.
Whoa. You're gonna skip Woobat? Woobat?
Yeah.
It's my boy Woobat. Woobat.
Look, I told you if I overlooked any cards, you could get to them at the end. You don't have to interrupt me every time I skip one of your boys. So we got Cresselia. Cresselia EX, the Sparkling Particles ability. Allows you to heal 10 for a minute between turns, and then Psychic Protection does 90, and then you don't have a weakness on the next turn. Is there any use at all for this Pokemon? Anybody?
Yeah.
How?
You do 90 for 4, and you heal. You're pretty tanky. You put Eviolite on it, you're essentially taking 40 less damage a turn, assuming you're not getting knocked out. It's a pretty tanky card. I mean, 90 for 4 isn't terrible. It gets rid of the weakness. Not that that does much, but...
No, I mean, it does a lot against Mewtwo, obviously.
Yeah, but I figure I'm going to get knocked out by Mewtwo before I get 4 energy. Anyways.
Alright, Pram?
maybe if you can do like a Cresselia versus the world scenario, where you just have lone Cresselia by itself with Eviolite going up against everyone. Because, you know, if they catch your Cresselia, well, it has weakness again. It would cost 2 catchers, but maybe if you ran... oh wait, did they print Escape Rope? I don't remember.
Nope.
No.
Well, it would cost 2 catchers to knock this thing out, but... Yeah. It's, just the fact that you can do that is kind of a big downside.
Cresselia Blastoise.
What about in a Hydreigon deck? As a Mewtwo counter, maybe? You can just shift all your energy to him with a blend?
How many, psychics does it cost?
1.
Yeah,
One
I would
psychic,
play it.
3 colorless.
I would play it.
I would probably
True.
rather have a Mewtwo at that point. Rather have a Mewtwo.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
Cresselia stops you from getting like countered by another Mewtwo. With its
I ain't scared
Like
of another
attack.
Mewtwo. I ain't scared.
The fact that it's like one of those cards where it's tanky, where it's like, I just want to do a vanilla 90 and then not get knocked out, and then I can
This is
retreat
Kyle's
it,
kind of card.
and then I can retreat it and let it heal on the bench while I attack with something else, and then I'll send it back up when it's fresh, kind of thing. It's not bad.
Alright, so Thumb, what do you think? Cresselia EX. Ben's giving a fist. Alright, so we all think it's kind
I
of...
was waiting for that.
I'm like in between
My
good and
video was lagging, and I was like, you guys weren't doing it, so I didn't sit here and do it by myself.
Alright, it's going to cover all the Psychic Pokemon. We'll go to Lightning. The only one I could possibly see usable is Electivire. The Electro Wave attack does 30 to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon for 1 Lightning and 2 colorless. Is anybody going to use Electivire? Drew, you're laughing. What do you think?
This card is so bad. It's unplayable. It's
Alright.
weak to fighting, which is not good. Not good.
Alright. Ben, what do you think?
I don't think it's that bad. 30 to all their dudes on the bench? I mean, that's not
He has
completely terrible.
120 HP.
What am I going to get knocked out by? Restroom?
Drew just used to playing his Excadrill deck, so he looks at the
Yeah.
fighting weakness. He's like, fighting weak. You can't play this. Alright, Pram, what do you think?
I think if you want to do spreading damage, you can play other things like Registeel.
Okay. Maybe an Electivire Electric Dusknoir deck? Alright, I'm reaching for things. But, what do you guys think about Electivire overall? Thumb?
You know,
And
this is going
that's-
to be really corny when everyone gets to look at this.
That's the point. All right. That's it for Lightning Pokemon. They are all really, really bad in this set. I'm sorry, guys. They are really bad.
I don't know. I thought that Electrode was pretty good.
Why
Yeah.
does Strike search its deck for fire energy?
I don't know. It's Flame Charge, so it's searching for fire.
Its attack doesn't even cost fire.
You put fire on it, and then you energy switch it over to a Rayquaza. They thought this out, I'm sure.
It doesn't even have free retreat like the good one does.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you have the lightning. You gotta use it to retreat. Put that lightning in the discard, and then you can use electric to put it back on.
Alright, yeah. Go ahead and make that. Alright. Moving on to fighting Pokemon. Overall, not many good ones, but when they're good, they count. Landorus EX, probably one of the most hyped cards from this set. What do you guys think of Landorus EX? Is it as good as people think it is? And we'll start with Drew.
This card is very good. You cannot complain about 30 and 30 for 1. I mean, this card has to kill Eels. Eels already had like 1 foot in the grave. This is just like pushing it into the grave. It's over. It's covering the hole. It pushed Eels into the hole, and now he's covering them up. So yeah, Hammerhead is a very good attack. Just like start with that. That's crazy. So I think we're gonna see like a rock paper scissors type thing develop though, because Landorus is weak to water, Darkrai is weak to fighting, so they kind of all counter each other in a circle maybe. So maybe the format will get a little more developed.
That
At least.
Blastoise just goes, I'm not weak to any of you guys.
He's old and slow. He's an old,
Alright.
old bogey.
Alright, Pram, what do you think of Landorus?
Infinitely better with Ether. Unfortunately, we don't have that.
What is Ether, man?
Don't worry about it. It's not
It's-
set.
It's really good.
It's not real yet.
You know,
though.
it's just like it's not going to see like its full potential until next set. Then we'll know if it's like a really, really strong card or if it's just like one of those EXs that just kind of makes the deck unplayable because of how easy it is to play.
So do you think for the cities format it's going to be very good?
I think it's dependent purely on how well Blastoise does. If Blastoise is like kind of proven to be bad, then Landorus will be like super big. But if Blastoise is really good, no one can reasonably say Landorus is a great deck.
Alright, and Ben, what do you think?
I don't think it has to be good. I think the fact that it's there just destroys the Eel deck. Eel's gone. I think it's just out of the format. I don't care how good Blastoise is. Like, people think Landorus is a good card, so people aren't going to play Eels just because it's so like dangerously good. I think it's a really good card. I don't care what Blastoise has to say about it.
Alright, so you think it will survive regardless whether or not Blastoise is played?
Yep. Or at least it has an impact on the format whether or not Blastoise is played a lot.
Alright, so we all know Hammerhead is a ridiculously good attack. 30 and 30 for 1. Land's Judgment is also a very good attack, does 150 for 3. Problem is, you don't really have anything to accelerate energy to it. Do you guys think that's ultimately what holds Landorus back for the time being?
Yes.
Nope. I think it's still good, just manually attaching. I don't think. I mean, I think Ether is obviously going to be, make it better, but I don't think it's not good right now because you don't have to discard the energy. You can still do 80 for 3, which is pretty good. I mean, that almost one shots a Darkrai.
And if you really want to knock it out, you can do 300. So there you go. All right, Landorus, thumbs up, thumbs down in the middle. We got all 4 thumbs up. 4 out of 4.
5-0s. 5-0s.
5-0 on the woo. Can you give us a woo? All right. That's what it sounds like.
Woo!
That was 3 or something.
Next fighting Pokemon I have, I'm really grasping at straws here, but it's Crustle. The ability is Sturdy. If it's knocked out when it has full HP, it only has 10 HP instead of being knocked out. So maybe some room with some healing cards to make a fun deck at the very least. What do you guys think of Crustle?
Next.
That's my boy, Crustle. You know what? I think it would be better if it had less HP. If it had 90 HP, it would be so much better. But it is 100. So
Because when it gets hit
because
by
then
Darkrai,
the effect would happen more often. It's no. The card isn't good because it's good. The card is good because it's fun. And when you don't get knocked out by an attack, that's a lot of fun. So if it had less HP, you would be getting knocked out more often by attacks, making it more fun to play.
You realize there's actually no difference between getting hit for 90 and surviving with 10, and then being knocked out and surviving with 10, right?
No, there's a difference. It's more fun to say that you didn't get knocked out.
All right, Drew, what do you think?
Actually, this is definitely a solid Bed Deck Monday contender, I think. I mean, you play the potions, you got like the max potions. You could definitely stall a lot with Crustle, I feel. Woo!
I think like maybe if it'd be better if it had like 40 HP, then you could be
What
like,
is with you guys?
no,
That would actually make sense.
that way when you get hit, you go down to 30 damage, and you play potion.
It had 20 HP. It'd be unbeatable.
Well, now we're just getting ridiculous.
Pram's actually makes sense. If you had 40 hit points, that would be good because you could potion it. Is this the one use we can find for Gold Potion, since you would heal the 90 off?
No.
You better have recycles or something.
Yeah. Alright, overall,
If it had 10 HP, oh yeah.
just never dies.
Yep. One Crustle, 59 energies. Here we go.
It's a stage 1, but alright.
Oh no.
It's okay, you go 4-4.
Alright, what do you think of Crustle overall? Give me a thumb.
It wouldn't be a Bad Deck Monday deck if it wasn't thumbs down.
I'm giving it the thumbs in the middle just because I'm going to play it on Bad Deck Monday. Alright. Next up, we have a Dark type. I gotta say, most Dark Pokemon have been horrendous in the past sets outside of Dark Explorers. That was really the only set that gave us good Dark Pokemon. And this set is no exception. We have 4 total Dark Pokemon in the whole set. The only one I could kind of see something fun to use is Liepard. For 3 energy, it's Assist. You flip a coin. If heads, you get to use an attack from one of your benched Pokemon. Can you see this even being used in a fun deck? You know, get some ridiculous attack that costs maybe like a Charizard that takes 5 energy, but instead you can use it with Liepard. Only takes 3.
Well, since you're gonna be playing Darkrai with this anyways, you could like attack with Darkrai with it. Like use Night Spear as a leopard.
That defeats the purpose. It takes 3 energy to attack.
But you're a non-EX, so when you get knocked
And
out,
you have to.
it's only 1. Well, you play Victini too.
All right. Anyone else?
No.
Ben? Ben can't hear us apparently.
Mandibuzz is a better card.
Wow. That's low.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess
bad.
that speaks volumes. So, Liepard, I think we're all going to give it a big thumbs down.
Oh,
Pram gives it a thumbs up.
Big thumbs down.
Okay. Next up, we have Metal Pokemon, which also are not good in this set. Only one that is interesting, I'm not even going to say good. It's Scizor, Steel Slash, 2 energy does 40, and then you can't be hit by EXs on the following turn. Is that any good ever?
Sure. All the attackers in the format are EX.
Alright, Ben, you seem...
And that's why
pretty...
you have Liepard to go Night Spear.
Woo! Congratulations, you found a big, ridiculous amount of space to go around a Scizor. Well done. Ben,
I'm pretty proud of myself.
Ben, you seemed pretty confident. What do you think Scizor will be used for?
He's in the tank, man.
Alright, Drew.
I think Scizor will be used to line my shoebox in my closet if I ever get one. But seriously, why is there only just a random Clink in this set? Doesn't make any sense at all. Can we talk about
the
that?
Worst Clink ever.
Why is there a random Clink?
Can we just spotlight the Clink for a second? Literally everything bad you could want about it is in this card. 40 hit points. The other ones have 60, so it's inexplicably has 40 hit points. 2 retreat cost, you can't even grab it with a heavy ball. And the attack damages itself for 2 energy. Is this one of the worst Pokemon we've seen in a long time?
Yeah, there are Magikarps better than this card.
Yeah. Thumbs down to Clink and Scizor.
Better than Liepard.
No,
it's not.
Liepard's so bad. Yeah, but Liepard's bad because it tricks people into thinking that it's okay.
It is a liar.
And at least you know that this is a bad card.
Alright, let's move on to Dragon types. You know, Dragons Exalted brought us a bunch of Dragon types. This one's got a few. Number 1 is going to be Flygon, the Sand Slammer ability.
Oh, wow.
It's a weird name. Put opponent's Pokemon every turn when it's active. So, do you think Flygon will be any good? We'll start with Pram.
I think it'll be like... Nah, who am I kidding? It's not good. It has a lot of issues. It has to has a lot of hurdles it has to go over. One of them is it has to play Celebi EX as that's one of its crutches. The 80 paralysis attack is just kind of it's good situationally, but a lot of times the Vibrava attack is much better. It's also has the downside, I think, of being a Dragon type. With Rayquaza, Eels might still be played. Who knows? Until that's kind of been for sure out of the format. We can kind of say Eels probably not played anymore. But until that's actually a 100% thing, Flygon is just it's in this weird spot where it's it's really vulnerable to Dragon types, and it's really vulnerable to the fact that it has to play Celebi EX.
Is the ability enough to justify using the card?
Yes, if it gets over those hurdles. If it gets over those 2 hurdles, I think it becomes really, really good. But it's just kind of getting there.
Okay. Drew, what do you think of the Sand Slammer Flygon?
I think this card is just in the wrong format. I think in a Stage 2 base format it would be pretty good. Basics have pretty low HP. Everyone would be playing basics. You get a quick Flygon and really do some damage to your opponent's field. But in a format where everything has 180 HP, it has to be out there for a long time. It has to not get knocked out. Its attacks are horrible. It has to discard 2 energy just to do 80. I mean, it paralyzes, but it's really slow. And I don't like it too much. Maybe if stuff rotates out before it could be good, but not right now. It's
Alright, and
a
then-
single little woo. Woo!
The card's okay. I could see maybe it working well. I don't think Dragon type weakness is that like bad to have actually, but overall, it's a. I mean, I could see some nice combos with it.
Okay. Do we think that this is probably one of the most violent sounding cards of all time? Sand Slammer and Flying Beatdown.
No.
It's just taking care of business, man. Taking care of business.
What's more violent than this card?
Let me just try to remember all the violent cards I've memorized over the years.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing
Look
quite.
at some cards and I think, oh, this card's violent.
I don't know about you, but X-Ball's pretty scary.
Give it this.
Doesn't strike fear into my heart.
Yeah.
So Charizard, one of Charizard's attacks says bomb in it, and the other one
about-
is scorching fire.
What about Tangrowth, man? 100 furious lashes? Jeez.
I guess you'll
I'm
get
scared.
Tangrowth a shot at the end. Alright. Next, Dragon types we have. Well, I guess, first of all, what do we think about Flygon? Give me a thumb. Okay. So. Probably not in the right era, as Drew said. Just not gonna work for right now. Maybe someone will find something that works with it, but for right now, it's alright. The other Dragon types are all Curums. Does anybody think any of these black, white Curum EXs, the regular ones, any of them at all? I believe there are 4 different ones in total. Are any of these playable at all?
Black, white, dragon. It doesn't matter what type it is. They're all horrible. Woo!
Okay.
They were actually so bad, in fact, that they had to reprint another Kyurem, white Kyurem and black Kyurem EX later on.
Yeah. Ben, what do you think?
Pretty bad. Maybe
Okay.
the Dragon Fang attack is okay, but that's about it.
Okay. I don't know if you want to use the black Kyurem EX just for paralysis, but...
Well,
Because-
and then you can do 150 for 4, which isn't terrible either, but overall the card's pretty bad. I
Okay.
mean,
You can also have 300 HP with it.
I think yeah. Yeah. I think the black Kyurem are these and the rest of them are like this.
Alright, overall, thumbs, Kyurems.
Not even gonna raise my hand.
Only for the fact that you can play a deck with like 20 Kyurems.
You can. I believe the number is actually 24. There's the regular water Kyurem, the Kyurem EX, and then you can run 4 of each of the black Kyurem, white Kyurem, black Kyurem EX, white Kyurem EX. So you can have a 24 Kyurem deck. Look
Wait,
forward to that.
are EXs different from the regular ones?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, nifty.
Yep. Alright, so the last section for Pokemon is going to be colorless. We don't have any super strong attackers, but we have interesting cards. First one is going to be Raticate. Super Fang. I think we've discussed this one before, but Super Fang for 3 energy brings the defending Pokemon down to 10 hit points. Good or bad?
Man, this deck would be really, really good if it was only cost 2 energy.
Ben, you're giving a thumbs up. Why?
I don't want to give away my secret strat. No,
Alright.
but next set, I guess if you can get those 3 energies on there pretty efficiently, you can or whenever Plasma comes out, bring them down to 10 and use the tool on them to poison them in the same turn. Gotcha.
Drew?
That's good stuff, isn't it, Mike?
I think the problem is,
Like, he likes it. He knows what he's talking about.
I mean, the attack's awesome, but look at Rattata, 30 HP. Look at Raticate, 60
You know how you
HP.
get into that? Raticate? 4 Ditto.
What happens when they hit a Ditto for 30?
Well, then you just mark it up as a Ditto that's never evolving.
Pick a different Ditto.
Or you can play Potion.
Oh man, Potion in your 30 HP Pokemon deck.
It's not Crustle, man. It's not sturdy. I think Drew has probably hit this one on the head. The fact that Rattata has 30 hit points, not only does Darkrai knock it out, but a Landorus EX knocks out both Eradicate and Rattata in one hit. Both of them at the same time.
What if you put a giant cape on it?
People play Tool Scrapper.
It must be nice.
Alright, so Eradicate, for now, I think it's not good, but what do you think about long-term? Give me a thumb for long-term Eradicate.
He looks cool. He gets a thumbs up.
Wow, 3? Alright, there's 2 thumbs up. Ben changed his mind. I'm going to go with thumbs down. These cards never, ever, ever work in Pokemon. Do you remember the old Weezing? Is the same thing that never worked?
Yeah, was I playing when Weezing was around? No. I'm going to make
you're
it
gonna
work.
learn. You're going to learn.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to teach. I'm going to teach. You learn. You learn.
Woo! Woo!
Next card I got is Ditto. We've been talking about it quite frequently. Ditto has the transform ability, which basically just allows you to put another Pokemon on top of him, and he transforms into your Pokemon. Now, this would help you out if you have just some Pokemon you wanted to evolve, but you didn't want to put it down early, like a Tynamo. You just have a Ditto there instead, and then after you wait a turn, you can just put the Ditto, or put the Tynamo on top of the Ditto, and then you evolve. Is this going to be worth the spot in your deck? And we'll start with Drew, who has Frozen. So, we'll start with Pram.
Alright. I think if you're just playing a single evolution line, Ditto's really not worth the space. But if you're trying to make some kind of deck that has like multiple evolutions, then that's where Ditto really is gonna shine. And the fact that it can like sit in place and turn into anything you need at a certain situation is going to be very good. So I think Ditto, I think it's good. I think maybe if you give it some time for maybe someone to kind of pound out a good idea with it, it'll kind of mold it into something good. It'll end up being fine.
Yeah, I got it. Drew, I think you're back.
Woo!
Okay, you're back. Thoughts on Ditto?
I love Ditto. This is a card that just reads potential to me. Transform, like Pram said, you could really... It's a piece of clay, you just gotta mold it into what you need, man. There has to be some deck that can use Ditto. At some point, there's gonna be a broken deck involving Ditto. It just reminds me of like Swoop Teleporter back in the day, where you would Swoop Teleporter a bad basic out, and wham, you got like a quick stage 1 attacker. So there has to be something that can use Ditto. It's just too good. The ability's too good.
Okay. Does seem like it's got a lot of potential. Ben, I know you're typing furiously, but you're up next. What do you think of Ditto?
Ditto's okay. I don't think it's worth the space right now. I mean, you might be able to do some tricks with it later. I just don't see anything really important right now with it. And,
Okay. So overall, Ditto, thumbs up, thumbs down, in the middle. Yeah,
Thumbs
Ben's
down.
giving only thumbs down. I think the potential's definitely there. It might not be used immediately, but eventually this is going to be a card that gets some play. The ability's too good not to. The fact that you can even transform into EXs is what makes it ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's no restrictions. Alright, next up for colorless Pokemon, we have Dunsparce, one of our few support Pokemon in the entire format. Free retreat, only 60 hit points, but for 1 energy you can draw 2. Is this a card worth playing for support if you got a clunky deck? Drew.
There's already a card with Double Draw, I believe. I think it's called Virizion. And it also has Leaf Wallop, which is the best attack in the game. So, Dunsparce just isn't doing anything for me, man. I'd rather play my boy Virizion. Maybe a bond. A bond.
Alright, Ben?
I would also rather play Virizion. I figure if I'm going to have this card in my deck, probably going to use, what is it called? Collect? Double Draw. I'm probably going to use Double Draw. And if I'm using Double Draw, I have to attach an energy card, which means I already have something to retreat with. So if I'm just worried about a free trader, I'll just play Sky Arrow Bridge.
Okay.
Woo!
Pram?
Woo!
Virizian's pretty good.
And Virizion has 110 HP, so...
Yeah.
That settles that.
It also happens to be grass, which is going to be a pretty big type coming up.
Yep. So the trend continues. They still are not giving us any support Pokemon at all. Dunsparce is just a pathetic attempt.
Whoa.
And he's going to be stuck in your binder.
We've had a support Pokemon. His name is Virizion. He also doubles over as the best attacker in the game, as proclaimed by Mr. Holton over there.
Leaf Wallop. Leaf Wallop. That's all
Hey,
you need to say every
Roserade is
turn.
support Pokemon. Roserades exists.
Yeah, there's no... you got to understand, there's no, like, chat-out, stuff like that. They can actually just... You can search for a Pokemon and it'll get you out of a bad spot. No Cleffa.
The only person who played Chatot was you.
And it led me to many victories.
I tried using it, it didn't work, but I was pretty bad then, so...
Lots of people use chat-out. Don't worry about it. Alright, next up...
Yeah, mostly for chatter. Gotcha!
I think I can all safely assume we all went thumbs down on Dunsparce. Next up is Audino. It has the ability Busybody. Once during your turn, you can just discard it from your hand, and then you heal 10 and all special conditions from your active. So this could
Don't
replace...
discard it. Oh, you do discard it. Oh man,
Yeah.
I gotta read the whole thing.
That would be broken if you could just do it every turn. So, Busybody, is it worth playing over a card like Switch to heal the 10 and remove special conditions? We'll start with Pram.
I think this card was kind of made because of Excelgor. They kind of saw Excelgor and they were like, uh-oh, we may have made a lock that can't be broken. Potentially. So, like, I guess they don't like that kind of win condition. So they preemptively squash down any chance of a paralysis deck. So,
Fair enough.
yeah.
We did have Espeon, I guess, but it's a stage 1. Not really that good.
Yeah,
So.
it makes it much more versatile, so where anyone can run this,
Yeah, okay.
and it doesn't clog up your bench, so you're not sacrificing setup just to play a anti paralysis card.
Yeah, that would be the plus of Audino compared to a card like Unknown Cure from last format. Doesn't have to take up the bench spot. Drew, what do you think?
I think it's a good card just because you could. It's easier to search for Pokemon historically than like anything else. So it's probably easier to get out than like a Switch. The downside would be if you ever started with it, it would be horrible. But
I don't know, man. You got hip bump.
Give you a hip bump.
You can do 30 for 2, and then it's like a smoke screen.
Aw, man. I'd probably still play one, though. It would definitely be in the deck. It might get cut at some point, but it could be like the 60th card.
Okay. And just playing off the fact that you can search for it, you can also shuffle it back in with Super Rod, so something to keep in mind, too. Ben, what do you think of Audino?
I think it's very good. I just don't see any special conditions being particularly threatening in this format. I don't think...
Coming from the guy who used the paralysis Stunfisk.
Hey, that was a one-hit wonder. We went over this. One tournament. And it was super good. Best deck. I played the best deck in the country that day. I know it for a fact. I just messed up. In the country. Out of like every single game of Pokemon that was played that day, I played the best deck. and it didn't work out because I goofed it, and I didn't get any goof backs. But Audino, probably not very good. I don't think people are going to do the paralysis thing. I don't think people are going to do the Estelgor thing either. So why risk starting with this dude?
Okay. All right. Overall, Audino, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs middle. Okay. We got a mixed reaction. We'll see. I'm sure it'll make its way into a deck at some point. Moving on, we're done with Pokemon. We're gonna finish up with the trainers. We got I got like 6 or 7 of them listed here. First one I got is the most popular one, probably for many reasons, which would be Skyla. Supporter lets you search your deck for a trainer. This can be any item, supporter, or stadium, and you just put it into your hand. What do you guys think of Skyla? We'll start with Drew, who is grinning obnoxiously.
That's just
At least it was until the screen froze.
I mean, it's still now it's just kind of like a weird smile.
Oh yeah. So it can get supporters too. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, this card's broken. Okay. I mean, even if you have to Skyla and waste a turn to get a supporter to play next turn, it's still just improving your consistency overall. There's not going to be as many turns where you just sing there dead. Obviously, you can't really random receiver with it, so maybe that's something to consider. But I really like it.
All right, Pram.
I think this is kind of like the kind of godsend for setup decks. Finally, it's like the biggest issue with setup decks was like I can never hit rare candies, I can never get my guy out, so I can't do anything. And now you have more outs to rare candy, or like say you have rare candy and Skyla, you can get like Ultra Ball and then go rare candy, Ultra Ball, guy, stage 2 guy. And then like even worst case scenario, you can do like Skyla for supporter for like Juniper if you need it, like really need it. So like, you know, there's a lot of situations where Skyla is going to be very, very good, and yeah, it's just like the card we needed to set up games.
Yep. All right, Ben.
I think that this card's awesome. I think it's a godsend for non-setup decks. So those first 2 turns go by, and you're always like, oh, I can never hit catcher and knock out those basics. And now I just got more chances to get them with it.
This is true. I think the reason that people love this card so much is that we are in a time where there's not many searching cards out there. You mean our supporters are Juniper and Bianca. Just draw from the top of your deck. It's not like the past where you had like Cyrus's Conspiracy, search for specific cards, even Roseanne, which would let you get a Pokemon and energy. Now we have Skyla, which lets us search for a specific card. So that adds a lot of, you know, consistency to stuff, and in a way it adds skill as well. You have to know which card to search out. So I think that's the main reason people love Skyla so much. It'll definitely replace probably the Bianca or Charon as your 3rd supporter index. So overall, Skyla, what do you guys think?
Woo! I'm giving it a thumbs up.
How many O's?
6 O's.
6 O's. That's the biggest one yet.
Yeah.
She's in.
Well, Gardevoir had 25.
Yeah. I mean,
From this
historically, it's probably like down on the list, but it's good.
All right, we all love Skyla. Next up is Computer Search. Old school card from base set. Discard 2 cards from your hand. Search your deck for any card. It's an item, so you can just play it. No restriction. Only restriction, though, is that it's an A-spec card, so you can only play one of them in your deck. Computer Search. What do you think, Pram?
Card's clearly broken, so that's why they only let you play one.
Okay. Yeah, Ben. Thumbs up.
Speaks for itself. Does what it wants. Doesn't care who wants it. And just does it.
Okay.
Yeah, you wrap your mind around that one.
It's a pretty good card. Yeah, I wish I could play my base set version. It even has the same art, but yeah, it's pretty good.
Woo! Yeah, that's a good point I guess we should bring up. You are not allowed to use the base set version. They did rule on that. Only the brand new one, because it's an Ace spec card. So don't try to show up to your cities with old base set computer searches. You're not going to be able to play with it. But I think we can all see discarding 2 cards to just search for a card is pretty good. I mean, we all play Ultra Ball already. Being able to search for just any card is a step up from getting a Pokemon. So, thumbs up for everybody, I would think.
Yeah! Woo! Okay. That's a 7-0.
Only
7-0s. Alright, next up we have another Ace Spec card is Gold Potion. Heal 90 damage from your active Pokemon. Pretty simple, straightforward, but it takes up your Ace Spec card. Will any deck find a use for Gold Potion over computer search? Pram, you're saying no. And Drew, you're saying no. Ben?
Not right now.
They shouldn't have made computer search an Ace Spec card. They should have never printed it, and then you would like have a choice at least between your Ace Specs. But like computer search is always gonna be the best one.
Yeah, I guess so. We'll see. Maybe in the future we'll have something that can maybe be as good as computer search.
I don't find
Search your deck for a card.
You just go search your Discord or search your deck.
Yep, we'll see. So, if we disregard the whole fact that computer search is always going to take precedence over it, what rating would you give it?
Single O.
Single O. Alright. Okay.
Will you just
Moving
do
on.
this? So?
Huh?
Nothing.
Oh. Next up, we got Town Map. It's an item. Flip up all your prize cards. Basically, you just play with your prizes face up the entire game. It's a weaker version of Azelf, which would time walk, where you get to look through your prizes, take one. But this will help you out if you got a bunch of stuff prized. You get to see what's in there, and also you get to pick out cards. So if you got like a catcher in there and you need it, you can pick it out. Is it worth the slot in your deck? And we'll start with Drew.
Normally, I wouldn't like a trainer card like this. It's very hard to search them out. Whereas like Azelf was a Pokemon, you could easily grab a Pokemon. But with Skyla, it might actually be a little more playable than it would normally be as a trainer card, because you can grab it with Skyla. Overall, I think it would probably end up being like the first cut when you made a list. You might throw a town map into your deck, writing down the list, and then you're cutting stuff, and it's obviously like one of the first cards cut. So probably doesn't make the final cut in most decks.
All right, Ben?
I think the card's very good. I think I'm going to play it in every deck. I just think the more information that I have, the more correct decisions I can make. Like if my prizes are face up and I got a supporter in there, and I know that I can Ultra Ball away a supporter a turn if I don't want to, if I want to hold the other things that I have because I know what I'm drawing. And even if my opponent can see what I'm doing, I still think I can make better decisions with these cards out there, because it's 1/10 of your deck that you're just able to pick one out every time you get a knockout. I guess really only 5 cards, not 6, since one of them, it's not going to be useful because it's the last one. But overall, I mean, the card seems really good, and I'm going to play it.
Okay. Pram?
It's one of those cards where, if you can fit it, that's great. But that's the issue, kind of fitting it. You're going to run into a lot of situations where it's like, well, do I run the, second switch, or do I run town map? You just got to make that choice.
Okay. Do you think it could end up backfiring? If you have, let's say 2 Squirtles prized, and then you're like, oh, I'll just use town map, and then I'll flip them up, and I'll see where my Squirtle is. But then you reveal to your opponent, oh, you got 2 Squirtles in there. Then they're just going to put everything they have into focusing down your Squirtle to knock it out. Do you think the potential to backfire like that would make it a worse play?
Well, I think that only comes up if the person playing town map is just, how do I say this? Bad. See, what I mean, like, what you can do is be like, I know I have 2 Squirtles prized, for example. I am not going to play Town Map until I'm taking a prize. And then at which point, it wouldn't matter if you saw that I had 2 Squirtles prize, because I'm getting a Squirtle out of the prize pile.
I understand. But what if you're in a situation where, like, your hand is Town Map Juniper?
Or N, even, because you might not draw it again.
If it's N, I just shuffle it back in. If it's Juniper, I might just not play it. I don't know.
Take your chances.
Yeah.
I think it's very situational. If I'm looking through my deck and I see there's 2 Squirtles and I have like a Town Map in my hand and I can play it now, I just want to make sure, look at my hand and go, okay, with this hand, and like, am I getting a knockout anytime soon? Like, do I think I'm going to get a knockout anytime soon? And if I'm not, I don't think I'm going to play the Town Map. And I'll just shuffle it back in or just discard it. But if I really look at the board and say, hey, and this is really hard to do sometimes just because you just don't know. I'm going to get a knockout. I'm going to go ahead and play it. And then, I'll get my knockout in 1 or 2 turns or something.
Okay.
If you discard a Town Map to Juniper, your opponent's going to be like, what are you doing?
All sorts of mind games going on with these Town Maps.
Yeah, I think he already knows at that point.
All right, so overall, Town Map. We got 2 thumbs up and 2 maybe.
Also, you can play that Juniper down, and then you can just freak out. Oh no, my Town Map! Oh, can I take that back, please? And then he goes, no, you can't take it back. And you just go, oh, dang it. Got him.
Gotcha.
Or you really throw him off when you discard it with Juniper, and then you junk hunt with Sableye for the Town Map.
Super mind games.
Alright, next up we got a Spurtia City Gym. Each colorless Pokemon in play gets plus 20 hit points. Is there any colorless Pokemon you can think of that would benefit from this greatly?
Regigigas.
Okay.
Tornadus EX. I think Mike means Regigigas EX.
That is the only legal one, yes. Drew, any
Raticate?
Ooh.
Oh, guys, it's all giant cape.
Dittos, 90 HP Dittos. Oh my.
We've all had an epiphany here at the Top Cut. Way to go, Drew. Alright, yeah, I mean, there's plenty of stuff. Plus 20 hit points is going to be a big deal. Mainly because it's Stadium. And what decks play Stadiums if, I mean, Sky Arrow Bridge gets played in Eels, and that's pretty much it. I mean, there's no Mountain decks out there. At least not that I know of. So, yeah, having a Stadium do that is pretty good. So now that you had the epiphany, what do you think of the Stadium?
It's very good.
Okay, thumbs up. Ben still gives a thumbs down. Alright, we got 2 more on my list. Next one up is Hugh. Each player either draws or discards until he has 5 cards in his or her hand. Any use for Hugh, one of our new supporters?
No, it's bad.
Yes. I think it's like 2 sets from now. Hugh could be good. There's that card, like, it's like draw a card for each bench Pokemon in play. And then they play that. Is that a supporter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a supporter. I mean, if they don't end up using those cards and they got like 9 or 10 card hand, it could be good, but they get to choose, so it's still only okay.
Okay. Drew?
I don't really like it. I feel you're going to need more cards. Probably. I would worry about myself trying to set up before disrupting my opponent, and it's just not a very good draw card for me as playing it, so I'm not a big fan.
No love for Hugh! No.
Woo!
There's no W's or O in that name.
It's got kind of hair too. What is that?
Yeah, I'd rather just play that full art Bianca.
All right. Yeah, 5 cards is just a horrible number for both discarding your opponent's stuff and drawing for you. So this is probably like the absolute worst number they could have picked for both disruption and drawing cards.
I think I'd rather play Hooligans.
Good card.
Oh yeah.
All right, Hugh, are we all giving thumbs down? All right. Last one I have are they're pretty obvious. Just the crystals, the other A specs. Crystal Edge does plus 50 if you got it on a white Kyurem EX. Crystal Wall gives your black Kyurem EX 300 HP. Still, would you ever play these over Computer Search?
No. I would play Gold Potion first.
If I were playing it, it would be because I'm basing my deck around this card, and that's only Crystal Wall, not Crystal Edge.
I don't know, man. A plus 50 attack. I can catch somebody off guard.
Yeah, but that's on a white Kyurem. Like, what are you attacking with?
White Kyurem.
Yes, Iceburn does 200, but then you're playing M-Board too.
To clarify, it's not just white Kyurem, it's the EX too. So
Right.
It's not even the regular one.
The regular one, you can't use it, and
Yeah.
you wouldn't want to.
Alright, Drew, any thoughts or just no?
300 HP is quite a lot, so maybe there's something there. Like, that is a ton.
Keep in mind, Tool
boggles my
Scrapper
mind.
gets rid of it.
I ain't scared of no Tool Scrapper.
Nice strategy. I ain't scared of that.
I ain't scared.
I only get one of them, but that's alright. Alright, thumbs down on the crystals. Alright. My last set of questions for the set, before we move into viewer questions. What's your favorite full art? And I'm pretty sure I know the answer from everybody.
Okay.
Skyla.
I have a question. Is Sharon a guy or a girl?
Guy.
It's a guy.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical.
Ben, favorite full art?
I don't know, man. Skylar's legs look weird in that picture. They look abnormally, like, small for the rest of her body. It's disturbing.
So you're going with Bianca? You can also pick the Pokemon if you really want to.
Why can't I pick Sharon?
You can also pick Sharon, yes.
No, I'm going with Skylar.
It has to be Bianca. Bianca's the clear choice.
Hang on her face. Those glasses?
Yeah,
But they're
I'll go
like
with-
only the bottoms of glasses.
it's glasses. She's trendy. She's like a hipster. I bet Zimmerman would like her.
I don't care what you guys say. I'm going with Keldeo. Favorite? What's your favorite shiny Pokemon between Golurk, Terrakion, Altaria, and Rocky Helmet?
Rocky Helmet, because it's gold.
What did they do to Terrakion? The old Terrakion is like intimidating.
Because Terrakion's gold!
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with the Terrakion. It does not look intimidating.
He's just like happy to be there, man. That's not what you want from your Terrakion.
Does his face look like it's any happier than before? I don't think so.
No, but it's like doing a playful leap, and it's got like pink horns.
It's like running. It's like running full speed.
I think this Terrakion would go play with Keldeo on the field, man. The old Terrakion would just like eat the other Keldeo, you know?
And so what's your favorite? Pram said
He's-
Rocky Helmet.
I think the speed of light. Like, look at him. Can you recognize anything on the outside there? No, that's how fast he's going.
All right, we get it. Drew, what's your favorite one?
Altaria.
And you said Terrakion. I'll go with Golurk. Fine, that's the only one left. What is your favorite Rocky Helmet art now that we have 3 of them? The shiny one, the one from this set, or the Noble Victories one?
They're the
Gold.
same art.
They are slightly different.
Hold on.
Gold. Clearly.
Let me look at the Noble Victories one.
How is it different?
The lines are a little different, the background color.
You make me sick.
Oh, there's these like yellow lines in one of them.
They're pretty much the same thing. This is meant to be a joke. You're not supposed to actually answer this question.
I'm not. Well, I'm gonna answer.
Rocky helmet looks like there's poop on the helmet. Let's be honest.
That's part of why it's so
around a
effective.
poop helmet.
I think
Nobody
I like
wants
the
to attack
original.
that.
I like the original the best.
Okay. All right. Best card overall from the set.
Skyla has the most versatility in everything.
Computer search.
Oh,
Computer search.
it's gonna. I think Skyla's gonna be better when you have the choice between item finder and computer search.
Oh, somebody's so wishy-washy. No.
I was just kind of explaining why Skyla was better.
It's not better. Like, just because you have to choose between computer search or item finder doesn't mean that they're both not better than Skyla.
I will go with Skyla as well. What is the most overhyped card from the set?
Probably Keldeo.
Mine would be Landorus.
Overhyped?
Yes.
What was hyped up? I'm gonna go with Vileplume. In the dark.
Alright, Ben?
I think it's Keldeo.
Okay.
But it's close with Blastoise, if you consider them different.
Alright, most underrated card from the set.
Ditto.
Town.
Ben says Town Map, Pram says Ditto, Drew says...
I gotta look, man. I'll go last. You go first.
Alright, underrated? I guess I'll go with Town Map too.
What is that? Alright, I'll go with Skyla. It's so underrated. It's too good. Too good.
Actually, I'll switch mine to Audino. How about that one?
I was gonna say Audino.
And are there any cards we have overlooked?
Woobat and Swoobat. Anytime I can Jet Woofer, I'm going for it. Woo!
You just want to woo more when you
That
play those
says-
Pokemon now.
Bad Deck Monday written all over it. Isn't there a Gardevoir that like doubles the psychic energies?
Yes, there is.
There you go, man. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Anyone else? Anything we overlooked?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Didn't give a shout out to Tangrowth, 100 Furious Lashes.
you can't do it twice in a row.
Yeah, that's what holds it back. That you can't do it twice in a row.
Yes. Well, if you can do it twice in a row, I guess it's automatically 100% better. Just on math.
It doesn't mean it's good still.
Yeah, that's not
All
what I said.
Okay.
100% of nothing is still nothing.
Yeah, I guess I don't understand how 100 Furious Lashes can vary in damage since it's 100 every time. But Tangrowth defies math, apparently.
Doesn't say how
Alright.
strong them lashes are.
I guess more energy makes him stronger. Alright, before we head to break, you guys have anything else to say?
Break.
Yeah.
I think I'm good.
Alright, so we're going to take viewer questions when we come back. So stay tuned, guys. We'll be back in about 5 minutes.